Here we go. This is probably exactly where you'd expect me to be. Back working on the 40 series, just finished painting these panels as you would have seen in the last video. And if you haven't seen any of the last videos, you can go back through and watch them all. This is my 1982 HJ47. Ground up rebuild, cab was fully off. Most recently, I've just painted these panels. And as I said in the last video, I'm going to get these panels and put them on the cab. It's obviously not going to be that easy. Let me give you the rundown. This is the cab here. It's actually on the chassis. I don't think I ever made a video about that, actually. The last time you would have seen the cab, it was just sitting on that stand that I had it on. I did put it onto the chassis. I think I filmed it to make a video, but it ended up just being me putting it on the chassis. It was like 2 minutes worth of work and it really wasn't worth it. So glad I've obviously put a drop sheet over this because it would have been absolutely filthy by this point. So it's still got that really nice paint underneath there, but it is time to take this sheet off and start assembling it. So if you were watching my last video, you would know that I have a brand new seal kit for this cab. This is the seal kit you can get through Mr. Land Cruiser for this version of car. This is the post 1980 40 series Ute with the quarter windows in the doors. I think that's the only little bit that you sort of, some windows have the full glass, some have the quarter glass. Anyway, this kit comes with absolutely everything. I got the main kit and the supplementary kit. So this is every single seal right the way down to like the bonnet hinges, every single little bit of rubber this seal kit has. So I'm obviously going to be using those today to get these cab panels back onto the cab. We're going to need the seals for the back panel. So that's 3 different seals. There's 1 long straight one and then 2 for the sides. We're going to need the main spacer and seal. So it acts as a little spacer and also a rubber seal for the windscreen panel. Then obviously we're going to need the ones for the roof that go all the way around. We're also going to have to go into storage and unwrap all of those little brackets and stuff that I painted a few videos ago now. I sandblasted all those parts and I painted them, put them in storage. We're gonna need those because they have the brackets that the roof sits on and bolts onto. And I think they'll be the only seals we need at the moment. I'm not putting any glass or any windows in, so I won't need those. But I thought I'd mention the seal kit because it's quite important. Obviously, it wouldn't matter getting all these panels nice if I just use the old seals again. Also from storage, I'll need to get the hinges for the windscreen panel. I painted those up as well. There may be a few other little bits. And also important, I brought a brand new bolt kit, a zinc plated bolt kit for this car. Now this comes with M8, M10s, M5s, every single little nut and bolt that you'll need. These are proper zinc plated, properly rated bolts that I'm going to use for this whole thing because I have all the original nuts and bolts. They are obviously, a lot of them are rusty, not very nice looking, but also they're all just sitting in piles. So it's not like I've really bagged anything necessarily. So I'm going to have to be pulling out different bolts to try on this anyway. So at least I have a new kit that I can pull bolts out of. But I should be able to use every single one of those bolts for this video today. So the bolt kit and the seal kit are the 2 new things that you've got to know about that go along with these 2 panels. And I'm pretty sure that is it. As always, the only thing to do now is to get to work. And hopefully at the end of this, we will have a car looking like a car, looking like a 40 series, looking like a Ute, which I'm very excited about, which will look awesome. I guess honestly, most of the hard part is done. Assembling it should be the easy part. That is what I say before every single video though. So we will see. Okay, look at that. It is on. And something you'll see straight away is that they are in fact two different colors. Even though I ordered this paint from the exact same company, exact same code, exact same year model, exact same type of paint, to essentially completely different colors. In the world of cars, these are two essentially different colors. So that's something to watch out for when you're doing a restoration over a long period of time like this. Like I painted this cab, I actually have no idea. It might have been over a year ago now, between 6 months and a year. And then obviously just painted these ones from a different tin, same company, same style of paint, same paint code. So I think now at the end, what I will have to do is actually sand these down and blend them properly, which is annoying, but just something you gotta do. But apart from that, it's looking really good. The new seal on there is looking awesome. Quite satisfying when you do these full-on rebuilds, right? Where every panel comes off and you actually get that sort of that black seal in there. Because a lot of the time, much like this car, these seals just get painted over the top of when they get a respray. It's kind of cool seeing a fresh, brand new seal in there. It's quite nice. Anyway, it's all bolted down as you saw. I ran through all of the bolt holes with a tap as you saw at the beginning because they were all full of paint, so I just had to chase them through and that all worked out very well. So that is essentially it now for this back panel. The easiest one, it's literally 10 bolts, 3 little seals around there and you're good to go. But now we have to move on to the windscreen panel, which has a few more little pieces and it's not quite as straightforward as this one. So, here's our windscreen panel. First thing you'll notice straight away is this wiring here. There is, obviously you have the wiring down here at the front for the wiper motor, and you can sort of get your hand in there to feed it through, so you can do that afterwards. This one though, not as easy because it goes right from the bottom all the way to the top here, and this is for the interior light. So I ended up just using a new thing of wire. It's just for some new lights because I'll get some new LED lights put in there and try and do the door switches as well so they turn on with the door switches and all that. So anyway, the moral of the story is make sure you put this back in before you put the windscreen panel on. So with this one, obviously it needs the hinges. The hinges are in this pile somewhere. This is all of the parts that I sandblasted and repainted. Now the hinges should be the biggest ones. Oh, here's one, I think. Maybe? No, that's not one. I think this is definitely one of them. Maybe they're both in here. Oh yeah, they are. Okay, I wrapped them both up in here. Here they are, looking very nice. So obviously these will have to bolt onto the cab and then bolt onto the windscreen panel. And these hinges use these same, this is a M8 by 1.25, and I'm not sure how long these are. I'll put the specs up here of how long these specific ones are. The length with these doesn't really matter as much though, as long as you get that full thread engagement. So, same thing, got to run through them with a tap on both the cab and the panel side. Wherever there's a bolt, run through with a tap so you don't strip anything or anything like that. And as for the seal, that is this. This is the lower windscreen spacer front screen seal strip. It's very thick sort of rubber. So that is what's good about getting a seal kit. You just have all of these, you can just pull them out. And I think that is everything that I've mentioned. So I'm gonna start bolting this up and then hopefully we can get to the roof at some point today. All right, that is on now. Got all of our bolts in, got all of the bolts tightened up. The seal is in there. The seal required a little bit of sort of pressing and moving into shape there. It did end up fitting, but it wasn't just like the other ones that were just a clean sort of drop in and off you go. And then I did lean it forwards, tighten the bolts in and pull it back. It's still not where it's supposed to be because there's nothing actually holding it in. It's just these. Talking about nothing holding it in, now we have to move on to the brackets. So I went over to the bubble wrap storage, pulled out all of the brackets that I could find. So there are 4 brackets, 2 for each side. You have this one, which goes on the top, and the actual roof sits on this. These holes here are not threaded, there's no nut. That's because you put the bolt through this into the roof. Then you have this here, which bolts to the actual front windscreen panel, and this here, which interestingly actually holds this little bracket, which then these 2 holes bolt onto the front windscreen panel, and that bolt goes through there. So I went over to the big pile of bolts and I found these and all the little bolts that go in there, because as you see, they're sort of recessed in there. So obviously you don't want just a flat bolt. So I did find the original bolts, and then I had a quick look in my brand new bolt kit and I found these. That is a bolt that fits the little hole there, fits perfectly into this bracket. So I can use these new bolts, but obviously I didn't paint these. This one I sandblasted, and this one I just didn't at all. And I don't really want to have to mix up a bunch of paint just to paint these 2 things. I'm just going to paint these black, and I'll show you exactly where these go when the actual bracket is up there. It's sort of hard to explain when there's nothing on there. So let's get these brackets in, and then hopefully we can get this roof in without too much difficulty. So the roof brackets are in. Very simple. You know, I actually don't know if I mind the little black bracket. I'll probably change it anyway. So as you saw there, it all bolts up. You have that top one that I showed you, and then it's sort of, I think I called it a bottom one, but it's like an inner piece. So you sort of slot it in, sort of up the top. I will have to take it back out again. It's just in here, just for video purposes. The whole point of this inner piece is to take it out so you can expose the bolts to the roof. So when I put the roof on here, I'll have to take them out. It's literally 4 bolts in the back, not a problem. The main one is this top piece though, because that actually joins the front and the back panel until the roof is on. So literally, if you unbolt this, it just like springs forward. I'm gonna get the seals for the roof now and the bolts so that I have everything ready. So then we can pick it up and put it on without having too many problems. Okay, so here is this nice new freshly painted roof with our brand new roof liner in there. You won't know anything about this roof liner. I haven't made this video yet. I have made a video about this, so I'll show you how I made this. This is the seal, basically runs around the back here, and you just sort of line up all the bolts, and then there's a lip on it that goes over on the inside, and then this little bit here is where the actual back panel sits into, and then those brackets, of course, at the side. The other seal is the one up the front. This one here, roof to screen seal front. This seal actually goes up on the windscreen panel, and there are little cutouts here. So it sits along this top bit here. You sort of put it on like a pinch weld, that will go down, and this bit sits along here, and that's how you get the seal on the front. And then you have your two little cutouts there, and that goes all the way across. And then that other seal will sit here, which is pretty cool. So I'm gonna put this seal on the roof. I really have no way of actually showing you because I can't get a camera up this high, so you're just gonna have to believe me. Okay, you guys are gonna laugh. You guys are gonna find this very funny. I made a big mistake. Actually, hopefully not that big, actually, in the grand scheme of things. A mistake nonetheless, and a mistake that I only have just now realized as I have spent a whole day just trying to get this roof on. But I'm hoping I can fix it without taking the roof off. So, do you remember, 2 videos ago now, I restored the roof panel. And right at the beginning, I showed you that little bracing piece that I had drilled out years ago now. That was years ago when I first took the roof panel off, and I don't know, I'd left it in the shed. So then I came back, sandblasted it, and I welded it up. So when I took that out, I drilled out all of the spot welds. Great. Put it back in, welded in all the spot welds again. But 2 of those holes were actually not spot welds. They were holes for bolts to go through, and I didn't even think about it. So now on one side, there is 2 spots for bolts to go through. There's holes in the seal and there's no holes because I've welded them up. And on the other side, you can see exactly where the holes are supposed to be. And they're pretty important. And I actually need one of them. That's how I was figuring out to actually pull the roof down before I bolt it in. So that is very interesting. How I'm gonna try and fix this is I've pulled the roof up, I've unbolted it, so it's bolted onto the front windscreen panel. I've sort of lifted it up and I've put 2 buckets underneath there. So I'm hoping I can just get a drill with a slightly big, because they're M6 holes. I'm gonna probably do an M8 hole because I've got some big washers, because I won't be able to get it exactly, but I'll be able to get it pretty good, because when you line the seal up, you can obviously see exactly where the holes are supposed to go. So I'm going to try and drill them out, and then hopefully I'll be able to just put the bolts in, put the thing down, and move on as if this didn't happen, and then learn from this experience and never do it again. that. The roof is on. That did take a very, very long time. Not quite a simple bolt-on panel. Just lay it on, put your bolts in, and off you go. It may not look like that because I didn't really film that much, but it has taken me multiple days. Let's just get that out on the table. It took me multiple days to put this thing on. But now, multiple days later, it's all finished. Doesn't that just look awesome? I mean, it's obviously looking like a completely different car, but I can't even remember that car that it was like years ago now. When I get this thing driving, I'm gonna do some insane side-by-side pictures of what it did look like, but that is not important. The roof. So obviously, because I didn't film that much, because it's very difficult to actually get everything. It's very dark inside the cab. It's very tall, it's all that sort of stuff. And I'll give you a quick rundown of how I did it. Of course, grab the roof, put it up there. The seal immediately fell down. Get yourself one of these and just like hook it on the back. These are spring-loaded clamps from Supercheap. And really, I had no idea how to tackle it. I was just trying to get them bolt aligned, realized it wasn't gonna be that easy. How I ended up doing it was hooking it over the front. So there's a little lip with 2 bolts. Those bolts did not align at all. The side brackets didn't align at all. Alignment was at an all-time low. You literally just have to like jiggle it around, do some heavy prying. I was literally lifting the cab off the chassis because it's not bolted down. I had to sacrifice a bit of paint, get some vice grips on some things and pry them. Not that it's any paint that you're gonna see because these things went over the top of it. Screwdrivers in holes, prying things up. I got to a point where the whole front was bolted in. Not tight though, everything was loose, but everything was just hand tightened. So importantly, that meant that these front little black brackets were screwed in, the black bolt on the side was screwed in, and these 4 on the actual main bracket that goes to the roof were just loosely in. There was enough thread that it wouldn't just pull out immediately. Then came the very hard part. I had to get this roof back far enough because obviously the tension on this front panel trying to pull it forwards was pretty severe. I couldn't do it by hand. Got the ratchet strap, tightened it. I could get the bolts in the back, but then obviously couldn't get any of the bolts around there. Realized I was an idiot and had to go and drill those holes to get the other part to fit. Drilled them, got them to fit in sort of like an oblong, there's like a oval sort of a shape, and then focused on the back bolts. Now that was interesting because with the ratchet strap, it still wasn't really aligning, but if you just sort of lift the roof up, you can sort of poke the bolts through at the back, and then on I went. The back bolts actually went on quite easily. Once you had one lined up, the rest sort of lined up. And as I said before, everything just hand tightened. I got the last bolt in and then just went around and tightened everything up. And obviously checked on the seal. It's all, you know, pressed down nicely. So that's it. It's looking awesome. It probably wasn't super informative because I didn't end up filming as much as I wanted to because it was just so difficult. But it is an integral part, and I would say a milestone. Personally, I would say a milestone in the build. Looking like a car, definitely. Got the drop sheet off, and now we can start to do real stuff, which will be very cool. And just one more time, look at how cool this thing looks. Obviously ignoring that it's 2 different colors. Ignore that. Look at how cool that this thing is. But that is all for now. I will see you in the next video, which I still have to decide what that's gonna be. It could be multiple things. I'll give you a sneak peek here. Now, I don't wanna get ahead of myself, but we might be doing wiring in the next video. So I'll see you then.